Assalamualaikum and hello. So today I will present a little bit about the principle-based theory, or we known as principle-based accounting standard. Okay. This principle-based standard is one of the accounting approach that are using by company around the globe. So principle-based accounting suggests a comply or explain a policy. It means every company who are following this system must comply by the set principle. And if those companies fail to comply with the principle, they must present with a reasonable explanation why they fail to comply with those principles. And this accounting approach seems to be the most popular accounting method around the globe. Next, we go through to the whether IFRS are using principle based or rules based. So, one of the major difference lies in the conceptual approach is USGAAP is using the rules based while the IFRS are using the principle based. The International Financial Reporting Standard System are the most common international accounting standard, and it is not using the rules-based system, but it is using the principle-based system. So the IFRS states that a company financial statement must be understandable, readable, comparable, and relevant to current financial transactions. So they see that those principle base can achieve those things they need. So in Malaysia, our accounting standards are known as Malaysian Financial Reporting Standard, or MFRS. So it is basically following the IFRS. We go next to the benefits and challenge of a principles-based approach. So we go through to the benefit first. So the benefits we can get from applying the principle-based approach is first, flexibility on how outcomes or principles are achieved or implemented. So this approach is more flexible in any outcomes or principle are which are implement in those company. Next is it is a key decision with regards to regulation will be made by more senior level employees. Then the other benefit is proportional to the size and complexity of the organization. Then it easy to check compliance as based on fact. And then lastly, it's easy to amend rules set as required. So there are also some challenges that will be faced by applying this principle-based approach. First is inconsistent approach to implementation, and then uncertainty about how the regulator will view conduct, measure, and controls. So uh, there are no fix on how the regulator will uh, view conduct, measure, and control. So it's always change. Then next is ongoing justification or recording the reasoning behind conduct or measure. And then require more skill to develop measure that will meet the outcome or principle. So it require more skill. So it is few challenges that company need to face. And lastly is principles may be too broad. So there are some benefits and challenges that will be faced if we apply the principle-based approach. Then basically, principle-based approach will be compared with the rules-based accounting. So this both rule, which is a rule-based and principle-based accounting standards, are meant to provide the best possible financial statement to investors. So under principle-based accounting, management has discretion on how to record a transaction. So basically, using principle-based theory, the management has their own way on how to record a transaction. For example, here it might be decided to write off a hundred ringgit waste basket as an expenses, while another company record the waste basket as an asset. So here we see, let's say the company A recognize the as waste basket as an expenses, while in company B they are recognize it as an asset. So it's based on what principle they are applying. But in a rule-based system, management must follow a specific rule, which is such as the any purchase above 100 ringgit is capitalized. So who are applying these rules, this rules-based approach will apply this kind of recognition of transaction. So they are following the rules. Next, we go through to the differences between principle-based and also the rules-based. So for the principle-based, first, principle-based better able to cope with the speed of changes of environment. It comes to the benefit itself where it's more flexible. Secondly is it's less voluminous, and then it encourages use of professional judgment with focus on what is right. That's based on the principle. And then lastly is seen as possibly discouraging financial engineering. So next we go to the rules based. Rules based more workable in large complex economies and countries. Then it left room for interpretation, and then it provides more guidance on practical implementation, and then and lastly it less need for explanation in financial statement, because most of the item are following the rules that has been said. That's all from me, and thank you.